Hello, everybody. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We are the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but we think it's specifically made for us and hopefully for you as well. Today, Star Trek Episode 24, The Ultimate Computer. And that title already has me on an oh no, because if it's Kirk versus computer again, I don't know if I can do it. But I'm optimistic. But I was also optimistic for last week's episode, and like you and I were like discussing, like, are people gonna like hate on us for this, or are they totally gonna agree? I think for the most part they agreed. It was definitely one of the weaker ones. So yeah, that was going down the roller coaster. But who knows? This might be an upswing. We'll find out.
Yeah, the name of the last episode escapes me, unfortunately. But I thought that, it was not an episode that we liked very much at all, especially where it ended up going with the story, and most people agreed with us, but there were some defenders in the comments, and most of them were respectful, and it was nice to see that side of it, too, of why people liked the episode. So there was still good discussion there, even though it wasn't one that we loved necessarily. Today we're watching The Ultimate Computer, And I'm just going to let everyone know right off the bat that's watching this on YouTube, we watched this live on our Patreon, and it's our first ever live watch-along. So if I seem a little bit different during this reaction, it's because my eyes are probably looking 10 different places instead of looking at just the show the whole time. But I will try my best to just watch the show. And speaking of that, one of our chatters, Witcher Joker, just reminded me the last episode was the Omega Glory. That was the name of that one. So, but I'm ready to jump in. Only 3 episodes left here in season 2, so hopefully this is a good one. We haven't had like one of my favorites in quite a while, so hopefully we can get some redemption here in the last few.
Yeah, Omega Glory, but it was pretty beta if you ask me. Okay.
Standard order, Captain. Not now listening. Lieutenant, contact the space station.
Already the camera direction's different.
But yeah, a lot of like camera pans to start.
This is
Commodore Wesley. How do you do, sir? Mr. Spock.
I receive orders to proceed here. No reason given. I think I'm entitled to an explanation.
War games. Have you heard of the M5 Multitronic unit?
Dr. Richard Daystrom's device, isn't it?
Most ambitious computer complex ever created. Its purpose is to correlate all computer activity aboard a starship.
You've been chosen to test the M5, Jim. When your crew has been removed, the ship's engineering section will be modified to contain the computer. Dr. Daystrom will see to the installation himself, and he'll supervise the tests. When he's ready, you'll receive your orders and proceed on the mission with a crew of 20.
So they're going to take everyone else off of the Enterprise besides those 20?
I can't run a starship with 20 crew.
The M5 can.
And what am I supposed to do?
All you have to do is sit back and let the machine do the work.
It's an automation episode. Even back in the 60s, they were already worried about automation.
But also, it's kind of interesting they haven't explored this before. It kind of makes sense being so futuristic and space-like. I mean, they already have like the robot computer that's basically, a walking dictionary.
I feel like this could go one of two ways for me. Like with it being this computer taking over the ship, if that's the whole plot, it could either be really interesting or very boring. So let's hope it's interesting.
Absorb everything that guy was saying, trying to keep up with all the lingo.
Directed by John Meredith Lucas.
Where is he? Scotty, where's Dr. Daystrom?
Well, he was here.
Nice subtle echo effect, because no one's on the ship.
I am honored, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Captain, I finished my tests on the N5.
Scott, hook in the multitronic unit to the ship's main power banks.
From his suit, I thought he's like one of those like god creatures from that episode a couple episodes ago.
Did you see the love light in Spock's eyes? The right computer finally came along. What's the matter, Jim?
He's not having it.
Only a fool would stand in the way of progress, if this is progress.
We're all sorry for the other guy when he loses his job to a machine, but when it comes to your job, that's different.
Am I afraid of losing the prestige and the power that goes with being a starship captain? Is that why I'm fighting? Am I that petty?
If you have the awareness to ask yourself that question, you don't need me to answer it for you. Why don't you ask James T. Kirk?
That was really good. I was just about to say, surprising amount of self-awareness for Kirk, but Bones said it for me.
Standard orbit, Mr. Sulu.
Captain, the orbit is already plotted.
Oh,
It'd be kind of hilarious if the whole episode was like nothing goes wrong. It's just Kirk the whole time, like being skeptical, like, so it's running smoothly, huh? Yep, everything was fine. Interesting.
Just a test. We're not going to implement it for a number of years. Okay, bye.
Lights, environmental control. Check it out, Scotty. The survey party will consist of myself, Dr. McCoy, astrobiologist Phillips, geologist Rollins, and science officer Spock.
Play M5's recommendations, won't you, Mr. Spock?
M5 readout. Recommendations for General Survey Party. Science Officer Spock, Astrobiologist Phillips, Geologist Carstairs.
Wouldn't even include him in the landing party.
M5 tie-in. Why were the captain and the chief medical officer not included in recommendation?
Non-essential personnel.
Damn.
It's the M5 unit, sir. That thing's turning off systems all over the ship.
That's what I expected, is that they were gonna be like, oh, it's turning off the lights out of efficiency or something.
This is an unscheduled M5 drill. Repeat, this is an M5 drill.
Acknowledged, Lieutenant.
M5 has acknowledged for us, sir.
Then go to red alert.
Aye, sir. Captain M5 is
I've
already
already
gone.
sounded the red alert. Main phase is fired.
Attacking vessels are moving off.
Moving back to original course and speed.
So the computer just did all their jobs, not just the captain.
Computers make excellent and efficient servants, but I have no wish to serve under them. A starship also runs on loyalty to one man, and nothing may replace it or him.
Surprising that take coming from Spock of all people.
Our compliments to the M5 unit and regards to Captain Dunzel. Wesley out.
Who the blazes is Captain Dunce? What does it mean, Jeff?
I'm just as lost as Bones.
Dunzel, Doctor, is a term used by midshipmen at Starfleet Academy. It refers to a part which serves no useful purpose.
That Commodore just called him useless?
I may be just a ship's doctor, but I make a Finnegal's folly that's known from here to Orion.
Nice, Bones. Nice.
To Captain Dunzel.
To James T. Kirk, Captain of the Enterprise.
Cheers.
One of your better prescriptions.
Simple, but effective.
I love how the last 10 minutes has just been Bones and Spock trying to reassure Kirk, no, we need you. You're good. We need you.
M5 has identified her, Captain, as an old-style ore freighter converted to automation. No crew.
Scotty, reverse engine, slow us down.
Reverse thrust will not engage, sir. Manual override isn't working either.
Oh, no. Well, they lucked out that it was an unmanned ship. Jesus.
Disengage this computer now.
There appears to be some defect in the control panel.
Your brilliant young computer just destroyed an ore freighter. In fact, it went out of its way to destroy an ore freighter.
Bones is pissed.
There might just as easily have been a crew aboard that ship.
In which case you would be guilty of murder.
Bones, disengage the computer. M5 is out of a job. All right, Daystrom, let's turn this thing off.
Oh, man, here we go.
You mean it's not going to let any of us turn off?
And there's the twist.
Yes, my favorite set.
But this time they can't have extra people up there.
Did some guy just get disintegrated?
Yeah.
M5's analysis told it needed a new power source. The ensign simply got in the way.
Well, R.I.P. to that guy. I mean, jeez. He's like, oh, I'm just going to go plug this in.
It's
just
like...
dies.
As soon as I saw him in the background, uh-oh.
One machine can do all those things they send men out to do now. Men no longer need die in space.
I know it's killed people. I know it blew up that ship for no reason. But it's what we have to do. Because we don't want people in space. We can do something else.
You see, one of the arguments against computers controlling ships was that they couldn't think like men. I've developed a method of impressing human engrams upon the computer circuits.
Ex Machina?
Yeah. Always has to take it one step too far.
Sir, sensors are picking up 4 Federation starships. M5 is altering course to intercept.
Main attack force, the war games.
Oh, no.
And M5 is going to destroy them.
Right. They've really built the computer up to be, I have no idea how they're going to stop it.
Kirk will talk it down.
Speed increasing to warp 4.
Phasers locking on lead ship, sir.
The Excalibur, a direct hit.
Closing on the Lexington again, sir. The Hood and Potemkin are moving off.
Phasers firing, Captain.
We have 53 dead here, 12 on the Excalibur. Now, if you can hear us, stop the attack!
53 dead?
There's your murder charge. Deliberate, calculated. That thing is killing men and women. 4 starships, 1,600 men and women.
Phasers locked on.
Daystrom!
Phasers firing.
Oh, no way, dude.
Dr. Daystrom, you impressed human engrams on the M5 circuits.
Did it destroy that ship?
Then perhaps you could talk to the unit.
I'm getting the Lexington again, tapping in on their message to Starfleet Command, sir.
Oh, they said it was destroyed. Damn.
I believe the only way to stop the Enterprise is to destroy her.
Oh, God.
They can't do that. They'll destroy the M5.
You can save the M5.
He doesn't care about the Enterprise, just the M5. If they destroy the Enterprise, they'll destroy the M5. It's like, what about the Enterprise?
M5 tie-in.
M5.
This is...
An entire ship was destroyed, dude.
This is Daystrom.
Oh, I guess you can just talk to it. They could have tried that.
Your attack on the starships is wrong. You must break it off.
Enemy vessels must be neutralized.
But these are not enemy vessels. 20 years of groping to prove the things I'd done before were not accidents. Seminars and lectures.
Not seminars.
Colleagues laughing behind my back at the boy wonder.
This guy really giving his whole backstory here.
The M5 must be destroyed.
Destroy it, Kirk? Look what we've done. Your mighty starships. So...
There you go.
You are authorized to use all measures available to destroy the Enterprise.
I feel like even when they get out of this, like they would be so screwed to try to explain to the Federation what happened,
M5, tie-in.
M5.
This is Captain Kirk. You have already rendered 1 starship either dead or hopelessly crippled. Many lives were lost. Must you survive by murder?
This unit cannot murder. Murder is contrary to the laws of man and God.
But you have murdered. You murdered it. What is the penalty for murder?
Death.
How will you pay
Oh,
for your acts of murder?
Die.
Just like that.
Kirk beats computer again.
The machine is committing suicide to atone for the sin of murder.
Scotty, Spock, before it changes its mind. Get down to engineering. Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Intership communications.
He's got to have a really good speech here to explain this.
The M5 has left itself and us open for destruction. Our 19 lives will buy the survival of over 1,000 of our fellow Starship crewmen.
I'm going to take a chance he's not just laying a trap. Break off attack. Do not fire. The Enterprise has dropped her shields. I repeat, hold attack. Do not fire.
Good for that guy. Good Commodore. Good guy, Commodore.
Thank God.
Captain, why did you feel the attacking ships would not fire when they saw the Enterprise apparently vulnerable?
Any other commander would have simply followed orders and destroyed us. But I knew Bob Wesley. I gambled on his humanity.
Fair enough.
Compassion. That's the one thing no machine ever had. Maybe it's the one thing that keeps men ahead of them. Care to debate that, Spock?
I presume your question is meant to offer me a choice between machines and human beings, and I believe I have already answered that question.
I was just trying to make conversation, Spock.
It would be most interesting to impress your memory engrams on a computer, Doctor. The resulting torrential flood of illogic would be most entertaining.
Take us back to the space station. Ahead, warp factor 2.
Been a little while since we've had an ending like that in the chair with both of them beside him.
Yeah, I feel like that was the wrong choice for that since the entire starship of people is dead.
Hey, target audience. If you want to watch this episode in full along with us, check out our Patreon, where you get access to every reaction we record in full and uncut to be able to sync up to the episode. You'll also get early access to our YouTube videos and be one of the first to be able to watch them before they're published on YouTube. There's also a plethora of exclusive content on Patreon, take part in polls to decide what we watch next, extra segments of whatever this is, and much more. So check out our Patreon, the link is in the description. A bit serious of an episode for a lighthearted ending there.
This was a weird one, man. I don't know.
I think for me, the first overall thing about this episode that was impressive to me is that this episode just kind of seemed like it overcame a lot. So, like, for example, it all takes place on the Enterprise. There are some glimpses into the other ships, but it all takes place on the Enterprise, and that can be tough to keep entertaining and not get kind of boring. We've had some of my least favorite episodes this season all took place for the most part on the Enterprise, and it just got a bit repetitive. This, I think, was able to keep the premise of the computer outsmarting Kirk in the first half, or doing Kirk's job better than him, fresh, being able to do it in different ways without getting repetitive. And then right in the middle of the episode, I think it was like exactly at 26 minutes in, they had that twist of the computer not wanting to shut off and completely taking over, and then that kept the pacing up for the second half. So it overcame that. They bring in the outside character of the Doctor, who it's like typical, like, oh, I put everything into this machine. It's, it's my whole career, all that. But the actor was so good. I thought his performance was so good that it overcame kind of the weakness a little bit of that trope character that we've seen before. So I really enjoyed that, actually. And then lastly, I'll just say the plot of Kirk versus computer we've seen done a whole bunch of times, and we've talked about plenty, but I think it was fresh enough in this episode that it kept me entertained. So it's not going to be a favorite episode of mine, but it overcame so much to where it could have been a bad episode or just a below average, but to me, I think it was one of the better ones this season on first watch for me.
I thought it was okay. Yeah, good point about just all of it on the Enterprise, and it's so like dialogue driven. Like every time I wanted to make a comment, I was afraid to, because like the dialogue wouldn't stop. Yeah. But I didn't want the thought to go away either. It's like, it was tough to battle with that. I'm sure there's something I missed, and it sucks because I don't have the subtitles on here. And William Marshall was Daystrom. What a fantastic performance, and really a good lead villain that was mysterious. And shout out to the Commodore for not being a complete dolt, actually being worthy of his title and worthy of his position. And I really like the stuff about, I gambled on his humanity, something that a computer wouldn't do. And how this thing was following a human brain, but this guy's brain sucks because he's kind of mentally ill, and went into this whole downward spiral while still being logical, and wanted to, defend itself. Kind of like this guy was defending himself, being bullied and all that for being like the smart one. And I don't know, like not competent Kirk always irks me a little bit because it's so weird, because he's like, our hero. So when you see him, like, oh, am I worthy of this job? Do I, it's like, and in fact, the one guy called him like Dunzel or whatever. It's like, Jesus Christ, a little unprofessional. But I always like seeing the boys back him up, Bones and Spock, there to, remind him who he is, and they really prove that they're the ultimate dream team.
Great scene with Bones and Kirk in the middle of the episode where he brings him the drinks, and he's like, this is one of my best, he's like, one of your better prescriptions, and it's the alcohol. I presume it's alcohol. Great scene there, and some good ones with Spock too. Spock a little bit out of character in some ways, being a little bit more I don't want to say emotional, but not being so straight-laced and logical. He did admire the computer, but he was the first one to tell Kirk, like, yeah, I'm not going to work for a computer, even though I'm 100% logical. Like, I'm gonna work for you because I'm, loyal to to human beings. And then Bones as well also love DeForest Kelly whenever he gets super emotional and like into it, and he's more mad than Kirk at some moments about the situation. So great performances all around, and great physical visual performance from
Chekhov.
Chekhov, yeah, name escaped me. Yeah, he would be like biting his fist. It looked like he was sweating. I think one of his best performances for like a limited role. Didn't have like a side storyline or anything, but just great. I actually believed he was really scared about what was going on. So
every time we're like, okay, how's this going to be resolved? And I felt like the resolution was a little weaker. I mean, it is Kirk versus computer, but like Daystrom literally tried talking it down similar in the way, but you murdered those people. And it's like, and then Kirk basically says the same thing, but asks a couple different questions, and somehow that shuts it off. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel different enough from what Daystrom was saying, just a little bit.
It was definitely a little bit weak, and I think at the end of the day, Kirk versus computer something is, that we're not huge fans of, and I feel like even though this was different enough that I enjoyed it throughout, the ending at the end of the day is still like Kirk just basically being like, you think you're correct, but actually you're incorrect, and then the computer just kills itself. This one was a little bit more subtle. Yeah, this one was a little bit more like subtle and abrupt. It didn't have like a huge explosion or whatever. But yeah, I think it was just more so, like I said, 10 minutes into the episode, I was like, okay, this is going to be a rough one possibly, and then it really surprised me. So definitely one I would watch again, even though it's not going to be one of my favorites. Maybe it's an honorable mention, at the end of the day for the season. We'll see. As we've obviously been referencing during this whole time, and we said at the beginning, we did watch live with our patrons. So we wanted to let you guys know for the season finale of Star Trek Season 2, not next week, Bread and Circuses, but the last episode of the season in a couple of weeks, which I believe is called Assignment Earth. We will be watching that episode live on YouTube, open to everybody, subscribers, viewers, whoever, who want to come check that out with us. So make sure to be subscribed to the channel. That way you can see our community posts when we actually announce the date and time and all of that for when we'll be watching that live. So even if you're not a patron for that one, you can watch the whole thing along with us. You will have to sync it up on your own and have that yourself, but you'll be able to watch along with us for that. Just a nice little celebratory way to end the second season of Star Trek. So make sure to subscribe and be part of the target audience.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching along with us. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We are the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but we think it's specifically made for us and hopefully for you as well. Thanks again. See you next time.